Hi guys, it's me the Big B and welcome back to another video. Now if you haven't already guessed by the title and this little box in the corner, you've got a good idea of what today's video is going to be about. Certain things have happened again within the ITC world that's kind of ruffled a few feathers. Now a little bit of a heads up, if you're easily bored by long videos or you get highly offended if anyone talks shit about Huff, I suggest you click and watch something else. For all of you that are going to steer, you know exactly where I'm going with this. Lately, there's been a fair few A-lister stars passing away, and I've used that terminology very carefully, A-listers. And that's for a reason, because Mr. Huff just posted something today that was very interesting. When an A-lister star dies, Mr. Huff does not know how fast to get his equipment and get a session done. And it's starting to annoy a lot of people in the ITC world. Because as paranormal investigators and ITC people, we cannot comprehend doing that. These stars, A-listers or not, they have family, they're people just like me and you. And we find it highly disrespectful for someone to do a session to try and pull someone in like that when the family haven't even had time to come to terms with they've gone, they've passed away, or to grieve. Hell, some of these stars are not even cold in their deathbeds when Mr. Huff starts doing these sessions. And to warrant and to justify these sessions, he came up with a new rule. A new rule in ITC, which is not bad for someone who hasn't been doing it that long. You see, many of us, like myself, we've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for 30 years plus, and some of my colleagues have been doing it a hell of a lot longer than that. And we have never heard of or come across, and certainly the 48-hour rule has never been a thing. This 48-hour rule that Huff put in place, because that's supposed to be the best time to contact someone when they pass within 48 hours, which a lot of us in the ITC field have basically called bullshit on, because that has never been a thing. I've gone to locations, I've done things in my own home, sessions in my own home, using all sorts of equipment, and we've come in contact with spirits that are just slightly outside of that 48-hour margin by fucking centuries, by decades, and they are more than willing and more than capable to communicate with us. And there is no hassle involved, there is no struggle for them. They come forward, whether they lost souls, whether they've got a message to give, or whether they just want to communicate in general. There is no worry about them being gone longer than 48 hours. This rule, I'm very sorry, this rule was only put in place by Huff to justify what he's doing, and all it's for, and if you don't see this, you've either got to be blind or you are so brainwashed by what this guy is doing that you'll believe anything. All the 48-hour rule is for an A-lister star is within that first 48 hours, the media is at its most frenzied. It's as simple as that. And you are going to do a session on a spirit box or an app that scans online radio. You are pretty sure, you're pretty good odds that you're going to hit something to do with that star. Seeing as so they smashed all over the social media, all over the TV, all over the radio. So you've got that going for you. That's why he's hitting that 48-hour rule. He's riding on the wave of that star's popularity, and everybody's focusing in on that because the star's passed away, and they will watch anything to do with that star, even a session like this. And he's doing A-listers because they're getting most of the clicks. Now someone posted a very interesting comment and said there was a star passed away today before I got to even film this, and he was a guitarist out the Eagles, I believe. I can't remember his name now, but he was a star, but he wasn't an A-lister. He was just a guitar player in a certain band. He wasn't the lead, and someone said, why are you going to do a session on this guy? It was Glenn Fry or something like that his name was, and Huff's response to that was, no, because I have no interest in this person personally. I'm not a fan. and they weren't sort of a thing. So unless I'm called specifically, or I have an inkling to do it, or I have a kind of like interest in the star or in that certain person, I won't do it. Basically, reading between the lines, what he's saying is this person wasn't a big enough star. They're not going to generate enough media interest. They're not going to get him enough clicks on his session to do. It's not worth his time. So he's not interested in B-lister stars or C-lister stars. He is certainly not interested in someone coming forward and saying, oh, my Uncle Bob's just died, it was 24 hours ago, can you try and contact him please? No, because that's not what Huff is interested in at all. That's not going to get him his clicks. That's not going to get him his 100,000 likes. And as far as Huff's concerned, as long as they're an A-lister star, and as long as they've gone in this magic 48 hours, they're fair game. He is not interested in what's ethical, what's right. He's not interested in any hurt it may cause the family. He may say he is, and I've done the session and I'm not going to put it out, but he always does. And he's always done these sessions. People ask him, Steve, are you going to do a session to contact David Bowie? Because he's just passed recently, it would be a good thing. And he doesn't say, well, I'm going to think about it, I might do. No, his response to all of these are, I've already done it. Like I say, they've not even hardly drawn the last fucking breath. And this guy's trying to contact them on the other side. And you see, Mr. Huff is such pure love and light, and he's so pure of heart and mind, that all these fucking A-lister stars that are passing away recently, they all lined up knocking at his fucking door, waiting to communicate with him. Because as far as Huff's concerned, he is the only one qualified and the only one pure enough of this love and light that he likes to portray, and he's the only one that the true spirits and the stars and these people want to communicate with. The rest of us in the ITC and paranormal community, we're just floundering in the dark. We're just pissing about as far as he's concerned. We're nothing. We're communing with the devil, because everybody that questions Huff, everybody that puts a negative slant on anything he's doing, are from the dark side. You're communing with the devil, you're from the dark side, you're haters. Everybody's haters. That includes people who've been following Huff for years. And they dare ask a question, they dare mention any other app or any other paranormal investigator's name on his site, and if they're lucky, you get banned. That's if you're lucky. Now, I've seen some of the emails that's been sent. People have sent me snippets who've come forward, seen my videos and said, we would never have thought he was like this is not what we thought, and he sends them some horrific stuff. It ain't coming from love and light, trust me. Now, I'm not going to give any names, and I'm not going to show any snippets, because it's out of respect for these people and privacy, and they've already had enough abuse. Because Huff definitely has his minions that basically mirror his personality. And I can prove that, because if you go back and look at some of my other Huff videos, these people come on. People come on and they say, good video, enjoyed what you were saying, blah, 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 and it's all polite and all very nice. Then you get a Huff lover, as I call them. He's faithful, he's sheep, whatever you want to call them. And they come on, they instantly attack. They attack, they belittle, they insult, they throw vile insults at you straight away, because they're mirroring what Huff does. That's what Huff does to people who question him. And now he sends these minions come out and attack. As soon as you throw anything negative towards him, he's got them so bleeding brainwashed, they just come and they just instantly attack. And like what I've said in all my videos, knock yourselves out. Comment like you've commented on all the videos. You fall for it every single time, hook, line and sinker. For every negative comment you put, for every one of those insults you just instantly throw down there without trying to question or have a discussion, you're just showing exactly what you are and what he is. He is not coming from love and light. And for him to say that he's almost like the chosen one. I'm so pure, I'm so love and light. And again, it was proved. Someone asked him a question. They said, Steve, why do all the groups get the kind of responses you do? Like Ghost Adventures and any others, really. Now, the logical response is because the reason we're not doing that and we're not getting responses that he does is because they're not there. His is not real, it's bullshit. But no, he basically responded as, well, they're just after money, they're just after, it's all self-gain, fame, fortune. Says the guy who's trying to buy and fast track his way to the top, to number one, and who's willing to trample over anybody and everybody in his path, and pushes himself up onto this pedestal and has the world believing that the only reason we are attacking him is because he is so good, he is the best, and Spirit only want to communicate with me. And we didn't put him up on that pedestal. He put himself up there. He bought that pedestal and put himself up there. He bought a lot of his likes, he bought a lot of his clicks. And again, many people have done it. That's not an issue to me. If that's what he wants to do and waste his money and do that, he can knock himself out. What bothers me and a lot of other people is the way he's putting himself forward in the ITC field. He's turned ITC into his own private fucking circus. His own private money circus. That's all he's interested in. And we get him throwing the jealousy card at us, and I get comments on me, other YouTube videos throwing this jealousy card, which now is, it's boring. It's old and it's boring, guys. We're not jealous. I've done things that Huff would love to do, and I've already done them. Huff's tried to get on TV. They did a Kickstarter that failed miserably. They've tried all sorts. He's tried everything. He's trying to get to the top. He's trying to trample over genuine people who's been doing this a long time. We're not jealous of that. There's no way we can be jealous of that. Like I said, for the things Huff's doing and the way he's doing them, he's jealous of other people. He's jealous of the success they've had, and he wants it. And he wants it badly, and he's willing to do anything to get it. And he's leaving a wake of destruction. People who were sitting on the fence about ITC and about paranormal things in general, and we come along, we try to just put evidence forward, show people what we're doing, and just try to show them there's something there. And then you get Huff come along, turning this thing into his own private little circus, and people are just looking at it as a joke. There are the few who follow him and think he's fantastic or whatever, but the few and far between now. But everybody else looking just sees this guy and what he's doing and what he's become, and it tarnishes the rest of us. Of course it does. They see it as a joke. And when you've spent a long time, like some of us have, trying to build up credibility in this field, and then you get someone come along like that, it makes an insult of what we've tried to do. But again, he doesn't care. I'm trying to pick my words very carefully because I'm getting very annoyed just even talking about this, and I don't want to swear, I don't want to turn this into a slanging match. I'm just trying to tell it how it is. And the thing is, when certain people in the ITC field are coming forward, people who have always stayed in the background, they've always just done what they've done, they build the boxes, they're doing research and they're putting stuff out there, but they're quite happy to stay, behind the camera. Basically, they don't put themselves forward. And with Huff doing what he's done recently, even those people are putting videos out, they're putting video logs out. And for them to be doing that, us in the ITC field, we know when they're doing that, the shit's getting real. When they're now stepping forward and they're making their opinion known, shit's getting real. And things are starting to go too far. Huff needs to stop this waiting for an A-lister star to die and be straight on the bandwagon. It's obvious what he's doing now. He's not even hiding it anymore. And he justifies it and thinks it's research, it's the best time to contact them, blah, 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 blah. And yes, I only do A-listers because I have a personal interest in some of them. I'm a fan, so I do it. No, you're doing it for your own gain. You're doing it to ride on that star's fame, to ride on the media wave that comes after a star has passed like that. That's why some of the others that's passing away and you don't hear a thing from him, because he's not interested. He's only after the cream of the crop, because he's chasing for number one. And that's the thing. In the ITC field, there is no number one. We all in this together. We all trying to do the same job. We all trying to get to the same goal. And there are no experts. There's people who's been doing it longer and they've got more experience, but there are no experts. There aren't what I call professionals. I mean, some of us say we've been doing it professionally for some time, but we don't mean we are professionals. It just means we've been doing it as our main job. for a long time rather than a hobby, which some of us have. But we're not saying we're better than anyone else. We're not saying that we know more. We know a little bit more. People that are coming into the field, we help them, we give them our advice, we sort of like try and point them in the right direction. But we kind of still humbled by other people and helping these people. But we don't come along and sort of thing like, I am the one because I am of love and light. I am the one. Spirit only want to commune with me. You just communing with crap. You know, you can't come along and say that and expect people not to notice and expect people not to say anything. I mean, for God's sake, you know, you just basically making a mockery of everything that we've tried to do and everything that we are doing. And you can't come along after a couple of years of doing this and say, I am better than anyone, Spirit only want to talk to me, and not expect people to be pissed off and not expect people to be annoyed with you. I mean, what did you expect us to do? All bow down and kneel and to your mightiness and your greatness and this love and light, which obviously that is just, again, that's just like one of those American evangelists who think preach love and light, but they've got like 6 fucking mistresses and the wife beaters and all fucking sorts and alcoholics behind the scene. He's not just love and light. I'm not saying he's an evil guy, so don't get us wrong. What I'm saying is he is not what he portrays. He is quite capable of putting people in their fucking place when they even so much as dare question him. And the abuse he's thrown out and the abuse his followers have thrown out. Again, that's not an issue, but don't try and pretend to be something you are not, and don't try to label the entire fucking paranormal field and ITC field as nothing more than money-grabbing charlatans, and then set yourself up to be like this frigging messiah. You know, it's not going to stick. You cannot take on the entire paranormal field and expect us just to all bow down and go away just because you shouting a little bit and now you're taking hissy fits, doing vlogs, saying how the haters are coming to bring him down because he's the one. No, we're not trying to bring you down. You'll do that yourself. Time will do that for us. We will speak out against what you're doing, Huff. Of course we will. It's immoral. It's wrong. And to put that into perspective, before I finish, when I was doing the Ghost Trail in Gibraltar, we just did season 3, and that's the show I'm involved in. We were trying to get into an old hospital, an old mental asylum and TB hospital. And we were approached and we were told that there was a death in there in recent history. And we're still talking within 30 years. We're not just talking a couple of years ago, we're talking 30 years ago. And a guy died tragically in there, burnt alive in one of the cells. He was a mental patient. There was a big thing about it. And obviously he has living relatives still in Gibraltar. And when they said that, we didn't want to go in and film, because if we got anything and that got aired on telly, that stress, that upset that would have caused that family would have been unacceptable. It would have been morally wrong. And even though we would love to have gone in and we would have basically said, if we get anything, we'll not film. No, we just sidestepped it. We just said, right, okay, fair enough. We say things, no, and we sidestepped it. We didn't just then decide, screw it and go in like Huff would have done, because it's wrong. And that was from a family of someone who passed 30 years ago. Huff, like I said, these guys haven't drawn the last breath hardly, and he's already on the case. And when you put this stuff out there on the internet and on YouTube, I don't care what, if these families see this, it's going to be upsetting for them. They're still trying to grieve. And to me, it's just the height of arrogance. It's just morally wrong. You shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't be doing it. If you want to contact these people and you think that you are so much the chosen one, at least give it some time. There is no 48-hour rule. That's complete bullshit. I will argue all day long with Huff if he wants about this 48-hour rule, because like I say, I was doing this long before he was even doing anything in this field. He was just doing his photography or whatever, and people have been doing this way long before him. So he can't come along and tell us this rule is in place and it's a thing, because it's not. It's just a made up thing. That doesn't mean that it's real and that we should accept it. It's rubbish. And we are not going to accept it, Huff. And we will never stop. I don't care how many hate comments I get, what people say, or people may think, I am passionate about what I do. And a lot of us are passionate about what we do. And we're not going to let someone just walk in, turn it into their own private playground, do what they want, make whatever rules up they want, to try and push themselves to be the top of the tree, to be number one, to be the best ever. We're not going to feed that ego. And like I said, these videos will not make you stop. These words that we say and that we send and we try and portray and get to you, they'll not make you stop. Time will do that. You will burn yourself out and you will finish. But the problem for us is the damage you're doing in the meantime. And unfortunately, there will always be another Huff. There'll always be somebody who sees pound signs, sees fame and fortune, and doesn't want to do it the hard way, of long years of research and going out and doing this field. They want a fast track. And like you, Huff, there's a lot of people unfortunately willing to do that. We're hoping that this isn't the case, that once this all dies down and you are gone and forgotten, that we can get back to normal and we can get back to being a collective with one goal and basically find answers. And that's what the ITC world is all about. This is what it's all about. It's not about personal gain. It's about finding answers and educating people as to what's out there. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. I thought I've kept that pretty calm. I don't want to get too into it, because we are not like Huff. We are not the devil worshippers he makes us out to be and the dark people. We just miffed, like anybody would be in this situation. So again, any comments, guys, leave them down below. I'll quite gladly answer them. Any hate comments, I won't be responding to them, but by all means leave them down there, and that just shows everybody else that's reading the comments exactly what I've been saying in this video. You'll be doing my job for me, so knock yourself out, and I shall catch you next time, guys.